So first of all, thank you so much for being here this morning, and we really appreciate your interest. I see a lot of old friends from our public design review process, but I wanted to start by saying thank you especially to the Green Space Alliance, because they've been terrific partners right from the start, from the very beginning of this process in 2001, and then Gina Crandall giving her time during the final design review process representing the Green Space Alliance, donating some signature trees that will be visible from the front of the park and the entry to the park, and holding a conservation easement on the park. So we're lucky to have them as our partners in this, and thank them very much for all their support. So here's Fisher Ave. Here we are in what's going to be the future parking lot. Here's the historic gatehouse. This is the formal promenade that rises up. We needed to maintain access to the gatehouse, and because that's elevated, we needed some way to get up and around the park and meet the Americans with Disabilities Act guidelines. Then we have a water feature is going in at the top of the promenade on the approach to the gatehouse with interpretive granite panel describing the gatehouse and the reservoir's place in the Metropolitan Waterworks system, with a picnic area down at this level. And you can see a woodland is being recreated all around. This is the northern perimeter, western and southern, with a wet meadow and then a large dry meadow over here. There's another wet meadow right in here. This is a swale that you can see in back of you that is going to filter the water that's the runoff from the parking lot. So some of the features of the park are restoration of the gatehouse. Now, we don't have a program for it fully worked out yet, but we needed to stabilize it because over the years of a lack of use and a lack of maintenance, we needed to repoint the mortar. What we've been doing for the last maybe 6 weeks is installing plants, and we're not done yet. But what we are installing are approximately 1,500 trees, 4,000 shrubs, and though I should say that almost 2,500 of those are winter creeper, which are going to go all along the eastern face of the promenade, and an herbaceous layer of 6,500 plants. So my job was to lay it out in the field with the help of Klopfer Martin. And in trying to figure out how to handle that quantity of plants, what we came up with was, we've actually bought out Home Depot currently of those irrigation flags. You know, it's a little pin with a plastic flag on it. And I write the plant symbol on the flag. And then Klopfer Martin had designed various pods of planting. So I'll take pod 3Q and pull the flags for the plants that are supposed to go in, put the flags in the ground on the site. Jay Hersey, who's the project engineer, has been painting out the pods for me. I put the flags in the ground, and then the contractor's crew goes to the block of plants that's labeled with those same flags or the same symbols and puts them in the ground. We didn't want to do traditional play equipment here, you know, post and platform or anything that looked and acted really different from the intent of this place. So Mitch Ryerson is a sculptor and furniture maker who started doing play equipment out of black locust. which doesn't degrade anywhere near as fast as other types of lumber. And he's done work in Cambridge, especially at the Cambridge Common, and also at the playground on the Esplanade that went in several years ago. And he had started off doing wooden benches for Cambridge, and it sort of morphed into play equipment that offers traditional play opportunities, but looks really sculptural. So he's doing one major piece for us, and then some smaller pieces that are scattered along the walking paths. But this is your initial view over the field to the overlook on the opposite side. And these concrete walls down here are the seat walls so that you can view the sports activities from here. So this is the main entrance from Fisher Ave if you're not using the parking lot. And granite steps on the way down, and then the retaining wall with the name of the park that's recessed into it. There has been a huge amount of effort put into designing the drainage system, and there's an extensive and elaborate drainage system underneath the field. So the planting plan has been really fun to work with, and I've been doing this now 32 years, and this is the first job where I've had a chance to plant tamarack. So these are passive walking paths, and it's more, you have much more of a woodland experience on the lower path as you go through the woods. Then there's passive seating over here, there's picnicking over at that end of the promenade, there's seating along the promenade. So there are a lot of places where you can just take in nature or watch your fellow park users.